Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon, where I'll be talking about the movies, obviously, the TV shows, merchandising, theme parks, I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, then yes, there's a good chance I'll be talking about it. So I just figured I would just talk about another princess movie, as I tend to do at times. And there's going to be, of course, Tangled. So yeah, this came out a while ago. It was produced by Disney, obviously, and yeah, it was actually a massive success, of course. And yeah, this seems like a good way to talk about some of the CGI stuff, of course. Even though the CGI stuff has pretty much got a bad rap among fans, but whatever, I guess. I mean, I do miss the old fashion hand drawn animation, but still, I know technically I did review this film already, but I figured I'd review a different edition of this movie. Yeah, Disney 100. So I just figured I'd just talk about this, folks. So this is the version that has the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital download. So here we are, I suppose. And yeah, I just figured I'd review this version, of course. Of course, let's talk about the plot, shall we? So I'll be talking about this because I like a good story. So anyway, in this movie, you get to see that there was this infant princess was kidnapped by this woman. It's because, yeah, it's just because of the hair, yeah, the magical properties that the hair contains. So, of course, she wants to keep it to keep looking a certain way and keep it at a certain age, like forever, I guess. So, of course, one day that does change, obviously, because Eugene, this thief over here, pretty much changed her life. Yeah, of course, he was being chased after, and the thing is that yeah, he was just trying to find a place to hide, and he just hastily picked this one area. He didn't know that Rapunzel was there, like at all. At least not at first, anyway. But of course, for a good while, the individual who kidnapped Rapunzel when she was younger, much younger, I mean, was just basically none the wiser in all this, obviously. So what's going on is that Eugene does notice that something isn't quite right. Obviously, Rapunzel herself isn't exactly social, and yeah, she was pretty much kept inside this towel for like ever, never and never. But yeah, something doesn't seem quite right whatsoever. And what she notices, he can't seem to put his finger on it right away, but something here does not seem quite right. Something seems different, of course. She's not like all the other women he came across. And yes, of course, this woman, the villain of the story, pretty much wants to keep Rapunzel in this tower as long as humanly possible and whatnot. But but that's the thing though. It has something to do with the fact that she wants to keep her alive forever and ever. Though it's never explained that. Okay, does that mean Rapunzel will stop aging on its own age, or is she? What if Rapunzel turns 80 or something, and she does? What do you do then? I don't know. But anyway, of course, that's pretty much just the story where Eugene, yeah, he has his own life. Like I was saying, he's a thief. He does steal, and yes, he goes into the part where maybe there's like a reason for it. I guess he has his own persona, so to speak. I guess. But anyway, and yes, of course, there's the hair. A lot of the hair. The two individuals go on this random venture. And yes, there was the whole age thing. Yes, but Eugene is a little older than she is. And but that's the thing. Yeah, that might make some people uncomfortable because I know some people think that's weird, but both of them are over 18. Okay, technically Rapunzel is exactly at 18, but still, if they're 18 or over, I'm like whatever. But anyway, yeah, they have this partnership and they have to they made a deal and yeah, they made a deal because Rapunzel realizes that the whole thing with the lanterns, there's this whole bit where she starts to realize that there's something's fishy. Maybe she's being lied to. She knows that something is suspicious. Something she's been told isn't quite adding up. So she wants to figure out what's going on and why. She's being lied to and such. So yeah, something isn't exactly quite right whatsoever. So of course she wants to basically find the truth, and Eugene wants his, his the treasures, the satchel or what do you want to call that, which has been kept hidden and whatnot. So yeah, he just seems like to be having like a bad day, and he just stumbles across Rapunzel in his towel, like I was saying a moment ago. But yeah, he wants to get back to what he was doing. He does not like the circumstance in which he was in, and obviously, it bothers him. It really does bother him quite a bit, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much the just a story. There's some stuff I want to bring up. I'll just leave it as it is. So like we're saying, this is the version I'm talking about here, folks. It's the uh, it's the Blu-ray and DVD digital download, of course. You can actually watch this on multiple screens, which, like I said, this is the digital one download version. It has two discs, of course, the DVD and the Blu-ray of the version of the film, including the digital download, which means you can watch it on your cell phone, on your laptop, or your TV. So yeah, assume you can hook up your YouTube on the TV, you can watch it there. So that's just a little slip here, folks. We thought that was pretty cool. And but yeah, the of course there's the some behind the scenes, of course, like deleted scenes, Untangled, the making of fairy tale, and original storyboard opening, and much more. So yeah, there's this, folks. There's quite a bit to enjoy here. There's also the high definition widescreen version. There's also the Spanish and English audio, and of course the English audio, obviously. So there's also the hard of hearing English, the audio as well for the hard of hearing, and the same thing for the Spanish and French subtitles, of course, as also here as well, folks. So there's that. There's quite a bit here, folks. By the way, this is the 2019 release. This is the 2019 release. It comes in this little slip here, the gray slip, obviously. So Disney 100. This is a Disney 100 release, of course. So yeah, and just want to discuss this for a little bit here, folks, because I just thought this would be a good way to talk about this Princess movie. And it's in high definition, like I was saying, so you can watch this in good quality. And the DVD is the standard DVD quality, of course. And that's how it is. You know, get quite a bit of stuff right here. I do like that. Yeah, it's pretty steep though, folks. It cost me over $22. Just yeah, throwing that out there, it's pretty steep, folks. So yikes. Just thought let anybody know if you're curious on getting yourself a copy. So if you want, of course. And that's the. I know not everybody can afford that. Really, I just want to bring that up in case you want. I mean, you could try to find much cheaper copy, of course, if you can. That is. But anyway, I just thought I'd speak about this kind of thing because I just thought this was a good way to top the princesses, of course. And this is definitely one of the popular characters. Was it was released, of course, and yeah, it's a good thing that they made this. So I just thought I'd talk about this version, obviously, and you just place in which you can actually find this, of course. So this, like I was saying, does contain quite a bit of stuff. So does have the three formats: the high definition Blu-ray, DVD, and digital download, which you can watch anyway. So it has the three options there. Then there's also the what you would call it from Walt Disney Animation Studios, something from them, of course. So yeah, it does have this kind of a thing right here, folks. This kind of packaging. It was pretty much just done as a way to celebrate Disney 100 celebration because Disney has been around for quite a while. So that's definitely is a good thing there. And it's a two disc anniversary edition, if anything, and that's what this is, an anniversary edition for the studio. Maybe not for the movie specifically, but definitely for the studio as a whole, obviously. So this was, like I was saying, as a celebrate the studio for being around for so long. And there you go, I suppose. But altogether, I mean, there was not the only time they've done this. They've done this kind of a thing for other movies. This is not the only movie they've done it with, but just one of many. So yeah, just so you know, I do like I was saying. I was trying to say is that I do like the cover. Though the cover for this was actually quite good. I do like the characters, their designs and whatnot. So it's pretty nicely done. I will add. So yeah, this was definitely a nice pickup, I guess, because there's quite a bit go through when it comes to this. So all in all, folks, I can say that this was definitely a good purchase, of course, in that regard. So yes, it was digitally remastered, so to speak. So that's definitely a plus there. Yeah, so yeah, it's just funny to think that this a lot of this started off because of the flower. And yes, the whole flower thing has some connection to the hair. Like I was mentioning earlier, the hair glows, has just magical properties in it, I guess. It has something to do with the flower because the hair has this magical properties, and this sunflower just grew and grew. So, yes, the villain character showed earlier basically used this to her advantage. And this has something to do with the fact that the mother, Rapunzel's actual mother, had drank some sort of like water that contained that said flower, and it just went to the child when she was in her mother's belly, I guess. So even though the film never really explained on how does that happen exactly, does that make the mother immortal? Does that make the daughter immortal? Like at what age do they stop aging? Is it at like 21 or something? I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, that's what I figured. I mean, the film itself never explicitly says that, really, but that's just what I thought of. Does that mean Rapunzel just lives on forever and ever and ever, for all eternity? Again, no, the film never explains that. It never explicitly said it. I'm just taking a wild guess here. Yes, granted, this does not make her indestructible, mind you. She can still die. It's just that time itself won't do nothing to her. It's just referring to like what I was saying earlier, folks. Just leaving some stuff that's unexplained. So yeah, some of the writing is a bit clunky. You know what I'm saying? But don't take this the wrong way either, folks. Yes, the film does work at its best in its simplicity, of course, but there's also some complex things going on as well when it comes to being overly dependent on somebody with Rapunzel and the woman who pretty much of course, kidnapped on or is or reliant on that very woman because she doesn't know anybody else. So, like I was saying, she's socially awkward. And then, yes, of course, when she finally meets with Eugene, this in itself does backfire because she doesn't know what she's doing. She never really ventured out the castle up until this point, like at all. So, yes, there's some things like that that could actually be quite awkward, of course, for the character. But the simplicity, yet some of the can be digged into some more complex stuff, sure. But this could be like a double-edged sword in some ways, because in one way, yes, this type of storytelling does allow the classic feel that Disney seems to have when it comes to this Disney spirit, without being bogged down with the typical the army of evil and the kingdom must stop the bad queen or whatever. But this can also lead to some predictable scenes, sure, and but all in all, the characters of Eugene and Rapunzel feel fleshed out enough. And yes, of course, I can say for the villain. The villain is a great villain in this movie. Yeah, in the book, which I'm guessing is served as a prequel, does explain that she has two sisters, which was never like at all brought up in the movie ever.
Excuse me, what?
Okay, there's actually some good writing here. Like, for example, the toxic relationship between these two. I mean, yeah, she's not the actual mother, but that aside, she is definitely a very toxic mother type. She only cares about herself and nobody else. She does not care about Rapunzel, and those subtle details You can see it in body language. So yeah, she only cares about her hair and nothing else. She does not care about her well-being, like at all. That makes her selfish. Oh yeah, definitely. So there's also the fact that the scenes between Eugene and Rapunzel actually do feel genuine, like actual people. So there is a bit of sense of realism, at least to some extent. Like make it as if it was a possibility. Again, to some extent, in a way, it's there. And yes, it doesn't come out like the social justice warriors. I'm a strong woman, yada yada yada. It doesn't it doesn't cater that way. And that's not the same thing as supporting the LGBT plus community. Just to be clear, you can still support them and not be a social justice warrior. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, so yeah, there's some bits and pieces of the film I actually do like, and again, especially between Finn Rider and Rapunzel. Obviously, they didn't like each other at first, which in real life does happen when you think about it. It happens. You may not like each other, but they grow on you. And then the whole age thing I just mentioned earlier, an age difference, which realistically speaking does happen as well. So anyway, so yeah, I can say there's some stuff that I actually found fairly funny here and there. So there's some good stuff here, like the animation, of course. Anyway, I'll give this version of the film an overall rating of a 7.3 out of 10. It's a 7.3 out of 10 because it's actually pretty good. So yeah, it's a high rating here, folks. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later.